Yeah, and I feel with this, if someone said to me, okay, we're going to go through...
Oh, jeez.
It's that good.
I muted.
If someone said, okay,
I
we're
wish
going
you didn't mute it at this point.
This week we bring you part 2 of our Build Your Own Bourbon County Media Kit 2021. This is episode 78 of the Malting
What's
Hour.
the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's beast. This the Malting Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Malting Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Tony Golden, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
and
Clark Fettridge.
I had nothing clever for you. Welcome back, Clark.
So good to be here, as always.
I don't know if that's sarcasm.
Yes.
Still not an answer. Anyways, we're finally doing it. It is the Build Your Own... Are we saying media kit or media pack? I think I said it 2 different ways.
Kit?
Kit sounds better. Build Your Own Bourbon County Media Kit Part 2. We started this back in December of 2021. And here we are in March. I think maybe the end of March. I think for when this comes out, it's the end of March. It's the longest... we didn't plan it out well.
Yeah,
It's,
but
also, it's a lot of big beers to drink.
Sure.
So.
and everybody's talking about them when they come out in November, December. So
Let's talk about
who's
it now.
talking about it now?
We are. Damn it.
For us.
And we get, good for us. We got
Stretch it out.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we got another episode of it after the big one, the big reveal.
Are we going to leave
It's like
prop?
that one in July.
Yeah, we're going to leave prop out in the sun with all the other beers.
Exactly.
This year I might be okay with that.
Ooh, teaser. Clark didn't like prop. So we've got 3 beers today that we are doing from the Bourbon County variant lineup of 2021. Today we are sipping through the Goose Island Bourbon County Brand Cherry Wood Stout and the Bourbon County Brand 14 Stout and the Goose Island Bourbon County Reserve Brand 150 Stout. It is the stout small batch that aged in Old Forester 150th anniversary of bourbon in barrels. I really like the box that came in. It's cool art with the brewery on there and everything.
Very fancy, as if you're
Sorry.
drinking some
I'll
scotch.
show you, Brandon.
No, what I was gonna say is I was impressed kind of with the packaging, with the Blanton ones.
Yeah.
That was cool too. They did a good job with kind of
Making
those look nice.
They usually do.
Make it worth the money.
Yeah, I'm looking. Someone else is going to read the description of the 150. It's very long on the back. My old man eyes. Can't do it anymore.
Insert it in post.
And here's the description. Okay, so we're going to start off with the cherrywood. I think cherrywood makes the most sense. You guys agree?
We agree.
Yeah.
I concur.
I'll pour mine first.
You want me to read about Cherrywood?
Please do.
Good sound.
This is coming direct from the source, Goose Island. I figured I'd go to them to get the information.
Good idea.
It says, this year we took wood complexities to another level. That's what she said. By doing something we've never done before. We took fully matured Bourbon County Stout and finished it with toasted fruit wood, specifically honeycomb-shaped cherry wood chips. Oh, that's right. They did give a little sample of the wood in the media pack. I guess we should have made our own.
I said that in the last episode that I wish we were expecting the honeycomb.
The versatility of the cherrywood and honeycomb shape allowed for maximum flavor extraction, revealing complex characteristics like red fruit, ripe cherry, and light toffee, which are not found in the original oak barrel itself. The result is an amazing elevation and notable difference from our original Bourbon County Stout. Interesting.
I've had this one. Have you, Clark? You have had everything at this point except for 150, correct?
I've even had 150.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So what haven't you had? All of it? You had all of it?
I've had everything this year so far. Last year, excuse me.
We know what you mean.
Whatever year it was.
Clark gets around.
Sure
Clark
do.
gets around.
He has it all.
He's got them all. He's got a great collection. There's so much beer around us right now. As we're
Just
sitting
way
here.
too much.
Yeah, this is great. Brandon, you have not had this, correct?
Correct.
I think you're the only one that hasn't had
most of these.
I've only had the ones we've had on the show.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, fun.
I literally have been just saving it for.
Well, good. That'll be much more interesting to listen to than the two of us going.
So so you know what? I'm interested to hear what you think about
You
this.
said you have had this.
I have had. The only one I have not had now is the 150. That will complete my Bourbon County journey. I've got feelings about this one. Stand by.
So what I like about it is I'm getting some like dark cherry. I'm getting a little wood, not too much wood.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Sorry.
But the cherry beers and Goose Island, the first thing I think of is the one they did a couple years ago that tasted
Sherry.
the one that tasted like cough syrup. And that's literally what my tongue was expecting, and I did not get that, so that makes me like the beer a little bit more. The flavors actually work really well in this, I think. But like, I kind of off your description, like I am getting some dark fruit. I'm getting some dark chocolate on the back end. Feeling like I'm getting a little bit of coffee bitterness. I don't know, not too much. But solid overall. I kind of enjoy this.
I think that that's a solid description.
I think this one if I've read, this one got knocked a lot, didn't it?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't see why.
This was the first one that I had when I got the Prop Day box that came with 14, the 2 props, and it came with Cherrywood. I had this first, and since this was the first Bourbon County I had for the year, I was able to pick up on a lot of the cherry notes and the dark fruit and the stuff that they're talking about that I feel like a lot of people miss because it is kind of subtle. I will say this, drinking it now from the first time, I'm picking up on it a lot more. Like, I'm getting a lot more of that cherry wood, like that dark fruit. It's not like, vanilla cocoa, but you said, you have like a coffee bitterness. I think that's exactly right. I think this is great, man. There's a child running around upstairs. Don't be alarmed, everybody.
We're not under attack by people trying to steal our beers.
Yeah, I still hold this beer in high regard, and I think that, I saw that someone we know, Brandon, was at, what was it, Fobab? And this was at Fobab, and he just absolutely hated it. And it's like, that is I think that's a terrible place to try this beer unless it's the first beer you're
That's a good
having.
point, because what are you actually getting after having, 10 other...
barrel-aged stouts. I mean, there are, it's like,
beers.
they're subtle. It's a subtle, the whole Cherrywood experience of this beer is very subtle. But I feel like, at least the first time I had it, now when I'm having it, I feel like it's standing out even more, so much so that I know that I've been to some places where I see this sitting around. I wouldn't mind grabbing another bottle just to kind of hold on to and have maybe later this year, like fall, It's a good
This
fall.
would be a good fall by the fire beer, honestly.
Yeah, I've seen this one a couple of times, still kind of out in stores every once in a while. If
same
I would have
with Cola.
known, I think I might have 2 of these already. So
You do. Remember, you got my 2 lattes.
Never mind. I don't need to buy any more.
That's right.
But that's good. It's good to know that this one drinks so well. So
Yeah, this is great. I'm really happy. I was in my head. I was expecting, even though I had already had this beer, I guess I wasn't expecting a lot from it because I remember it kind of being subtle when I first had it. That's the only time that I had it, and that was back in November of last year.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm enjoying it less today for whatever reason.
Huh.
I love the nose on it. You definitely pick up that fruit.
Yeah.
But I'm getting this like tingy bitterness that I don't remember getting. I don't dislike it today, but
Up front or in the back? Or all around?
over. And it might be because it's still a little cool. I'm trying to get it to warm up a little bit.
Also, how much water did you drink after eating all the ice cream that we ate before we started recording
Oh,
this
that's a
episode?
good point. Got to get that ice cream out of my mouth.
There you go. Just a sidestep on this. A side note. We did have ice cream before we did this episode. That's a multi-hour
Bourbon County
first.
ice cream was one
Yes.
of them, so I felt,
Clark made a Prop 17 Bourbon County ice cream, and we had some of Brandon's Odd Size, Atmosphere, and Attitude barrel-aged stout ice cream. So we thought, let's start it like that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I
Do you think that had anything to do with it, seriously? Or?
I don't think so. I mean, it was 20 minutes ago.
No. Hey man, taste buds, come on.
No, but I marked this on Untapped when I first had it right around Thanksgiving. I gave it a 4.25. Said there was a little spice and heat to it, and subtle sweetness from the cherry wood, which I'm still getting.
I'm getting heat on this more than I thought I was going to.
I guess I'm just surprised. Maybe that's the heat that I'm getting.
No, there is a bitterness. There is like a dark cocoa bitterness.
Yeah.
Like Baker's chocolate
Well, and
bitterness.
Brandon, did you mention the coffee bitterness?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm... And I'm not a huge coffee beer guy, and obviously there's not coffee in here, but it's the
But maybe that's what you're
flavor
picking up
that's
on.
coming through.
Interesting. What did I give this when I had it?
You gave it, I think, a 5?
I may have.
You gave it a 4.75.
4.75.
And you weren't expecting it to be as good as what you said.
I would stand by that. I would stand by making this a 4.75 because I do really think it's a really good beer as far as variants go for Bourbon County. I like the subtleness of it. Nothing over the top, but I get it's a different type of Bourbon County. So I like it.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I just checked into the beer, but one thing. So the flavor descriptors that are on there, it said brown sugar, and I'm getting brown sugar. I couldn't really pinpoint what it was, but
Like a sweet molasses type.
yeah, definitely getting some brown sugar in that one.
And I don't. We've probably talked about this either on an episode or just in person. But if I'm forgetting something, is there a fruit forward variant this year? 2021.
This is it. I think this is the only.
And it's not really fruit. As Brandon was saying,
it's
the
wood.
Mocherry, even that was fruit.
Yeah. No, this is as close as they got. To
Same with Northwoods, which had I think blueberry in there.
Blueberry and all. Oh man,
I do love that one. But it's nice that they're kind of sticking to wood and barrel.
Yeah.
This go around. Besides the prop, or not the prop, but the 15, as I like to call it.
Yes, the
14.
old 15 prop that they did. Man, if you guys swirl this around and take a big old whiff, get in there,
Swirl it around and smash a glass and
smash a glass and go home. Say, Brandon, thanks for nothing. Fuck you, Clark. I mean, that aroma on there is really nice. There's
I love that.
yeah.
This could be a candle.
Next year, we move on from ice cream and start making candles.
Yeah, if you find out there's a whole episode based on ice cream, you know why.
I'm actually wondering.
I get a little cinnamon, by the way, when I swirl it around. I know it's not like a strong, but I think my brain is trying to connect similar things that would go with cinnamon. Maybe the brown sugar.
Yeah, the whole. You know how Goose does collabs during Prop Day, like with a bunch of different stuff. I mean, I wouldn't surprised if one year they did like a Bourbon County candle or something like that.
I hope they do. I would want a barrel candle.
I would want it in a 55-gallon barrel with a wick and just let it burn.
What did they do? I'm trying to find.
It'll never burn out. That'd be awful.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they did collabs this year with.
They did.
I'm trying to find what.
Well,
I think they did an ice cream collab as well.
They normally do a gelato. I know that.
Yep.
Bourbon County gelato, which also sounds equally as good.
I'm gonna try to get into the Wayback Machine.
Did they do that with Black Dog? Black Dog
Yes,
gelato?
I believe
Yeah.
so. I think they did it with them again this year. The first time we went to a prop day, they had those. Was it marshmallows made with Bourbon County, or what? Remember the s'mores?
Oh yeah,
that was so good.
This year, cherrywood was used for hot sauce.
My favorite.
Co-op sauce. That I
Oh
could
man,
do.
co-op saucing. I love that stuff. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'm surprised how much I actually enjoy it.
Right?
I'm surprised that it's tasted differently.
Maybe you have COVID again.
You have COVID again?
Yeah, it's only been a month and a half. I think you can just keep getting it.
For you, apparently that's what it is.
Apparently.
Speaking of getting COVID, let's take a quick break and come on back to the 150. All right, moving on to the next beer is the one that I think ended up becoming the favorite for the beer nerds out there, from what I saw. It is the Brandon. It's in front of you.
It is the.
Sorry, it just kind of came out like that.
So, is it Goose Island Bourbon Reserve County 150 small batch, aged in Old Forester 150th anniversary bourbon barrel?
Yeah, so it's the Bourbon County 150 is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
B150. Do you want the Goose Island description, which is the lower part, or the long-winded history of Old Forester?
That long-winded.
We don't need the long. I mean, Old Forester. Look them up.
I'll give a quick little synopsis of
Okay,
Old Forester in a minute.
Oh, when you recap the episode at the end.
Exactly.
Goose Island Bourbon County Reserve Red 150 Stout is a once-in-a-lifetime expression of that 150-year bourbon journey. The final blend of all these barrels offers beer and bourbon lovers yet another chance to savor a very special batch of barrels, highlighted by one of the world's finest stouts. Limited in quantity, but boundless in flavor, this one-time 2021 release is layered with decades of bourbon and brewing history. Here's to our good friends at Old Forester for 150 years of making some of the world's finest bourbon. Cheers.
Cheers back to you, Goose Island, and Brandon.
Yeah.
And Dan, who's not here. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dan, we miss you. Sorry you're not here. You'll be here for the third one.
I really hope Dan's at home drinking that Shamrock.
I swirled this around a bunch of my glass here, and
Did I?
man, that's got a nice... At first, it just smelled like regular Bourbon County, and then I swirled it around a little bit, and you get, like... There's a heat almost to it, man. Like, that is... Boozy.
Yeah, I'm reading a little bit about the actual Old Forester. And they're saying on the nose you can get a little caramel, burnt oak, bananas Foster, which I would love. And on the palate, a little dark chocolate, rye spice, which I think I'm getting a lot of, and black pepper, which I'm feeling that too.
Yes, that I got, man. As I took my first sip, as you were saying that, everything what you were reading off that, and yeah, and it's not as barrely like the Blantons. We felt like we were drinking, a shot and a beer. Oh man, that heat is now coming back.
We also did have a shot. With
yeah, but we had that afterwards. But like as we were drinking
True.
that this is complex compared to the Blantons, which was our favorite of the evening, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Blanton's was pretty straightforward
Yes.
in such an amazing way. This you're right. This does have a lot of things going on, also in a great way too.
Yeah.
But I'm picking a lot more out of this than I was picking out Blanton's. Blanton's, I was picking out Blanton's.
Yeah.
The heat in the barrel,
And that was good.
That was
Yeah.
fantastic. And
This
I want
is-
10 more bottles.
You said rye spices and
Yeah.
black
pepper.
pepper. Yeah, man, I do get that, but
Getting a little bit of leather too.
leather, tobacco, all the things I taste when I'm by myself.
No, it just tastes like cow to me. Moo. You know what's funny? So I hear black pepper as a descriptor a lot. And I think this is one of the first times that I immediately noticed that. Like, as you were saying it,
Yeah.
I was taking my first sip. And I was like, okay, there's the black
Yeah,
pepper.
and I don't think I'm quite as good as picking that out on my own. I might taste it and go, oh, what is that? But when I read it, I go, oh yeah, definitely black pepper.
The more I'm swirling it around, the more I'm also getting that bananas Foster caramel aroma.
Prop 17.
Prop 17 aroma on a Blanton Old Forester.
Ooh, I got that on a little burp in the back of. Oh, totally. I mean, seriously, it's
like
a
bananas
little.
Foster type thing.
Yeah.
What's interesting, too, is so on the back end of this, I'm getting... Maybe it's the Bananas Foster thing, but it's like a sweet caramel, like... very pleasant. Because... And I say pleasant because not that the drink, any sip of this is unpleasant. There's just I'm feeling the heat. I'm feeling like everything all present, and then that little lingering sweetness at the end just makes this such a beautiful thing to drink.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, it's and I mentioned this the first time I drank it on Untapped. It's a little lighter, or the body is lighter than I thought that I would expect from a Bourbon County.
It's not heavy.
No,
Not kind of thick. Doesn't have that viscosity, if you will, of some other.
I will.
It's not a pastry stout.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I get why people raved about 150 so much. It is very good. It's really tasty. It is probably the most complex, if we want to use that word, with different layers of flavors in the beer. Or at least for me, and all the other ones I've had, regular Bourbon County itself, you can dissect it because that itself is, there's a lot going on there. When you start, messing around with it and doing different things, you lose a little bit of it, and then it kind of becomes focused on whatever adjuncts get added to it. Cherry wood, that stood out as the fruitiness of it. Blanton's, as we've said, that's straight barrel. Cola was clearly cola. That was the focus there. And the last one that we have tonight is going to be, it's a throwback to the Prop 14. So we already know what's in there. And if you, the listener, don't know, stick around to find out.
Yeah, and I feel with this if someone said to me, "Okay, we're gonna go through,"
Oh, jeez.
it's that good.
I muted.
If someone said, "Okay,
I
we're
wish
gonna
you didn't mute it at this point.
we're gonna play the Wheel of Flavors," and you spin the wheel, and there's 10 different things you're gonna have to spot in this Bourbon County. First one lands on black pepper, and you could drink it and go, look for that specific, flavor to it, and you go, okay, yeah, and you spin it again, and you get the Bananas Foster caramel. You go, oh yeah, I got that too.
I just got that again now. Taking a sip. That's insane.
The Bananas Foster caramel.
Yeah.
I get that once I've had a sip and literally 30 seconds have passed, and it's still kind of sitting in my, lining my mouth.
Lining my.
That's where
pockets.
I'm getting the Bananas Foster. Come on down.
You want Bananas Foster? Come on, drink this. I think it would be fun because I've got a bottle of this and I was saving it. I'm not sure what I'm saving it for. Except now I'm gonna.
Your 150th birthday?
I think so. I think I'm gonna save it for. I want to drink to this tonight type of deal.
Yeah. Why not? Right?
Yeah. I do want to go through. I want to take a sip of it without reading anything about it again, and then read, like you just said. Basically here's a flavor profile, description or descriptors, and read them all and see if you can find them.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, and I think as Brandon read earlier, I mean, they literally list chocolate, vanilla, coconut, molasses, almond, berry, oak. It's interesting, the Bananas Foster and caramel side of it was from the Old Forester information.
Now I wish I had a bottle of the Old Forester.
Seriously.
Yeah,
we
definitely.
drank Bland's together. We should have thought about that.
What's crazy though is the amount of flavor that's in this compared to like regular Bourbon County or whatever. And this is literally just stuff we're getting from the barrel.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
That's what's kind of blowing my mind. There's so much depth to this beer. It's like you said, there's no wonder why people were kind of clawing after this
right,
one.
it kind of gets lost on me as a beer genius, but you're right though that I assume they just took regular Bourbon County and threw that into these barrels.
Yeah.
I forget that. I think, they added some adjuncts to this, and no, this is all the barrel.
Yeah,
which is so cool.
I mean, that's the same thing with the Blantons. That's the same thing with the double barrel that we're going to try the next time around. It's just the Bourbon County base that they added to it. And if I'm not mistaken, that video you really enjoyed by Goose Island about the cherry wood, did we figure out, did they add honeycombs or what did the cherry wood honeycomb, not actual honeycombs.
We took fully mature and finished it with toasted fruit wood, specifically. I don't
So,
know.
yeah, I'm
I
not sure
assume
how
they
that
dumped it in. They floated some cherry wood honeycombs in a vat of Bourbon County. I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to. Maybe one day we can have someone from Bourbon County not Goose Island. But he's from Bourbon County.
Yeah, they said finished it on toasted fruit wood that had honeycomb-like shape. So
I need more information, Goose. We need more information.
So here, and again, we're talking about just how this is just straight up Bourbon County. So here's kind of the last snippet of that long portion of this. It says, Old Forester released its 150th anniversary bourbon, comprised of 150 barrels. They were separated into 3 distinct batches, bottled unfiltered, and presented at individual batch strength. Once emptied, those same barrels made their way up north to Chicago, where we honored that bourbon heritage by filling them with our signature stout, to age for a year. So literally, just
fuck. I really wish we got a. I'm sure someone has a. I might know somebody.
Is it
no, someone else, but they might have it. I'm sure we can get a hold of a tasting of it somewhere somehow. It would be nice to try it, especially after having this. We didn't really. I mean, you and I had Clark. You and I had checked in the cherry wood. Clark or Brandon, I don't remember who you guys are anymore. I'm going blind at this point. There's so much booze we're drinking.
over here.
Over there. Brandon, what did you give the cherry wood?
like the rating? 4.5?
Looks like that's correct.
Yeah.
So
I just did it. I don't remember.
What are you guys giving this one? What are you giving the Bourbon County Reserve 150? Clark, I know you've already rated it at one point, but now you've had a different experience with it. Does that change it?
It does. Being able to talk about it and not just sip it in my quiet chair by myself, wondering where the time's gone.
It's fucking depressing.
I think this go around. I'm between a 4.5 and a 4.75.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go as high as a 4.75. Because I guess I do wish the base was a tiny bit thicker.
I know how you might be able to go to a 4.75. Yeah. Just remember Bananas Foster every time.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, 4.75.
See, I knew it. Brandon, what about you? What do you?
I am actually 4.75. I literally had just.
You're 4'7". I don't know what that means.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. This is a 4.75. It's not far from being perfect, like by any means.
You're right.
I think Blanton's. I also did 4.75.
But I also feel like you have to.
I'm not even sure if I checked it in.
Talk about it to understand why it's that good, and I think that's the fun part about it.
I got distracted by the cat that came down here eating food and creeped me out. I agree. I think talking about it, and like I said, the next time I go and drink this, do you have another one of these left too?
Yes, I have one more.
And Brandon, you got like 5 of these, I think,
probably
from the lotteries that you want. I think to go back, this, Bourbon County, you can sit there and sip it. There have been times where I've, not gonna lie, gone through a Bourbon County in like an hour. You know what I mean? Like full.
I consider that a decent amount of time.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty.
I'm pretty sure I've done 45 minutes at least.
Jesus. All right. I think with this, I could put it down.
Let's go for a record. Let's see who can.
Let's do it.
Who can drink one quick?
Let's do some Bourbon Counties. Go get all your Bourbon Counties. Brandon, not Clark. Shit. But Clark, you can get your Bourbon Counties too.
Okay.
I think I could easily sit here and drink this for a while throughout the day. Not too long, obviously, but to go back to it and see how it changes.
2-3 hours?
Yeah, about 2-3. 4.75 though. Yeah, I like this. This is great. I wish I had a little more. When we go home and get my other one, and we'll crack it open.
Let's do it.
Let's just finish the episode just drinking this one.
This is the Bourbon County Reserve 150 episode, where all we do is drink multiple
After the
bottles.
Final Four. We've just talked about it, and we'll play it again.
We're going to revisit the 150. All right, let's take a break.
Let's. Sausage snacks?
Welcome to the Sausage Snack.
Emporium.
We were going to sip on some savory sausages.
Sausage.
Some sausage. I got nothing.
And we're back!
Yeah, we are. That was a real break. And now we've got one more beer of this Bourbon County Media Kit Part 2.
Yeah, we do.
That last one was good, man. That's going to be...
That was tasty.
It's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, hard to beat, but that's not what the show's about. The show's not about what's beating. Who's beating what? Who's beating who? What's beating what? This show's about all these beers. Oh, man. All these beers. I just took a whiff of this. So, before we get into it, we are drinking the... Actually, you know what, Clark? It's your turn. It's your turn to read something. It's your turn to learn how to read.
We're drinking the 15 stout, right?
I know, this is the 14.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
just keep saying 15 for some reason.
Next, I think...
What was
next,
15 prop, actually?
You want to ask Alexa? You want me to ask her?
Oh, 2015 proprietary.
Did the guy that has to look up stuff for us ask what it is.
Yeah, well, when I have a question, somebody else has to answer.
No,
Is that
that's
correct?
not how this works.
So I have to find all my answers?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it was the maple toasted pecans and the peppers.
Yes.
I think that was the first prop I ever had, because you gave me one of your bottles from Prop Day.
I don't know about all that. Oh, yep, I did. Yeah,
right?
I did. I gave you one of those.
That was very kind.
Because I wanted you to try it, man. I wanted to get you hooked.
Anyway,
Wanted someone else to share in the joy. Sorry.
we're drinking Goose Island Bourbon County 14 Stout. For the first time ever, we're digging into the proprietor's Chicago-only release.
That's the description, not us.
Vault and bringing back a fan favorite with Bourbon County 14 Stout. But this time it's with a twist. We're paying homage
Homage.
to the popular proprietor's 2014 recipe, but upping the rye ante by adding rye to the mash bill. I already tell you I'm not going to like it. Layering cassia bark, cocoa nibs,
Oh, jeez.
vanilla sugar, and coconut water, this stout has an intricate, sweet, and spicy flavor profile that will have fans going back sip after sip.
And having some snacking sausages
Sausage
along
snacks.
the way.
Oh, you lost me at Cassia Bar.
Yeah, we fucking... I don't know if you guys know this.
Homage.
Brandon and I also fucking hate...
Well, you know why I said homage? And can I go on a little rant?
Please. Yeah, you know
Clark's
what?
rant?
I don't have a... Yeah, I don't have a
Okay.
rant.
So, Watermark, we all know Watermark. We talk about them all the time. They have a beer called Homage, even though it's pronounced homage.
Homage.
And so when they first opened, we kept ordering homage. And one time they were like, oh, it's homage. I'm like, that's weird. Still love Watermark. Thank you for all the beers you produce.
Yes, and please...
Back to Bourbon County.
Bring us some beers. What do you guys think of this, Brandon? You're up first.
Haven't tried it yet.
Oh, well, go ahead, give it a snifferoo and give it a sippy sip.
It smells a lot like some cinnamon.
He's going in for his first sip. He's swishing it around his mouth. His brain is processing. Oh, he's hitting the bong real quick. He's going to clear that chamber.
Oh, that totally upped the mouth. Like super foamy.
It's going to be great for all the listeners, too.
It is. Yeah, it's a cinnamon bomb. Like, that's predominantly what I'm getting. Getting some chocolate, some cocoa notes. I'm not. I feel like I'm not getting much barrel. I'm getting some heat, but barrel flavor, I'm not getting any oakiness really. And I feel like that's the cinnamon just fucking knocking everything down. I am surprised by how much cinnamon is in this. I don't remember Prop 14 being so cinnamony.
Yeah, we were talking about what a possibility tonight or today we were going to do before and after the final pour, and I feel like now that you've had this, I think it's a good idea that we hold off on that idea because we want to taste subtle cinnamon, not this. So you're right. We did say that even before we started recording that. Spoiler alert, Brandon, it's a cinnamon bomb, and it is. It really is, and it's sweet. It's cinnamon. To me, it reminds me of I don't know, Cinnamon Toast Crunch sweetness. Where it's super sweet, super cinnamon. If you want to make an ice cream out of this, let me know, Brandon. I will figure out a way to help you make that happen, or just eat it when you make it. I know this was off-putting for a lot of people. A lot of people did not like this as much as I think Goose Island thought people were going to like it. I think the overabundance of cinnamon is a turnoff for some people. For me personally, it's not. Yes, it's a lot. A full bottle of this was tough to drink.
I did it.
I didn't. I actually had, I want to say just about right here towards the bottom. How much would you guys say that is out of the bottle?
3 ounces.
Roughly.
That's about how much I left, and I don't do that with beer at all. And I did that, and I left it, and I did not finish it.
No, and that's what I was just checking my Untapped rating from when I first had it. Probably, I think it was early December. I said I wanted to rate it in 2 halves because the first half I'm like, oh, this is fantastic, and then the last 6, 7, 8 ounces, it was like, okay, that's enough for the cinnamon. I don't enjoy this anymore because it's just overpowering.
What we have in front of us, I think, is the perfect amount.
For sure. Yeah, and it's kind of, I don't want to say unfortunate, but after Prop 2017, the bananas, cinnamon, pecan, am I missing anything? Bananas Foster.
Yeah, Bananas Foster.
Prop. That probably still one of my top 3 beers of all time that I liked.
Absolutely.
What year was that?
2017.
17.
You still have one of those, Brandon?
Probably. I don't know.
And Tony and I just had one a couple of weeks ago, and it still held up, which I was real surprised about.
Yeah. I thought that some of that banana was going to fade.
But after that, I love cinnamon stouts. Last year, I think on the Maltese, I think my top beer or top 3 beer was from Cruz Blanca, one they did with cinnamon and cherry.
That was
excellent. But after having this, it's like my body said, okay, you've had enough cinnamon for the year. And every other cinnamon beer I've had since, I haven't loved as much as I used to love cinnamon beers.
Oh.
So
are you saying Goose Island has ruined your love of cinnamon beers?
I'm not saying that, but I just said it.
Got it. Cinnamon Prost Crunch, or the Cinnamon Prost, I always want to say Crunch, but Cinnamon Prost from...
I don't have a 17.
Ooh, bummer.
No.
According to this, I have a 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 19.
And a 24?
I have 21, too.
You have a 2024 in there?
Yep, totally.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
I went into my DeLorean to the future.
Cinnamon Prost from Old Irving, to me, is the best cinnamon beer.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah, to me, that's just... And then we had Nitro.
Ooh, Nitro,
Yeah.
the sample.
What-
Yeah, that was good.
What I'm upset about, like, from that Old Irving interview is we didn't get into that. But that is a great conversation for the next time. Because remember, he had... I don't know if it was in the recording or if we had talked about it before, but he said that Cinnamon Prost was an accident.
Yeah, they were brewing something else or trying to come up with something else, and then boom, Cinnamon Prost was created, which is great. This going back to the 14. I like it, and I think I want to say, Clark, do you know what I gave it on Untappd?
You gave it 5, actually.
I gave this a 5.
Yeah, you said something about this is why you love adjuncts.
Yeah.
Stouts or something.
Yeah. That's funny that I gave it a 5. I mean, it's true. I do.
Yeah, you said this is a recipe that made me fall in love with prop in 2014. This is everything I love about adjuncted BA stouts.
Yeah.
What does BA stand for?
Big ass. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stand by that because as I'm sipping and drinking this, I said this is a good amount. I could probably have a little more, but I don't know if I could do a full bottle of this by myself anymore.
No, definitely not.
But overall, I mean, I stand by that. I love it. It's really good. I get why people don't like it.
Yeah.
Or why it was a turnoff for some people. If you guys say anything negative about it, I
kind of just did.
I'll probably stop talking to you after today. I'll talk to you less than I already, don't talk to you.
That's fine. So that's a good thing, actually.
Top tier doggies.
Dear doggies.
Brandon, what's your overall impression on this, buddy?
I enjoy it. I do. I'm not put off by the cinnamon by any means, and I do feel like everything plays really well together. I would, if we did have like a Prop 14 to go along with this, that would be interesting to do a side by side. But
I think
I don't remember that one being so heavy on the cinnamon.
Sure.
I remember cinnamon being there. I just it's been forever.
one thing I do want to point out is something that you mentioned while you were doing the description. You were jokingly saying you weren't going to like it because of the rye.
Yeah, I was going to just bring that up too.
There is that, like, as you were talking, Brandon, I zoned you out completely. I was like, I asked him a question. I don't want to hear what he's saying anymore. I just thought about this.
I thought at the same exact time, I'm like, oh, that'll be my next comment. Yeah.
Yeah, the rye. We didn't really talk about the rye. There is that, which I think, does that up the effect of the cinnamon that we're having because of the rye spice?
I think that's that's what I was going to say. I think that's part of why I think it's the cinnamon that I'm not liking, but it's rye. And I have not loved rye and rye barrel-aged beers, especially when Goose did was it Rittenhouse a couple of years ago?
Yes.
They did in Rittenhouse. in the red box. That's right.
Yes.
I thought I was going to love that because I love Rittenhouse rye just straight or with cocktails. And I tried that and I'm like, oh, I did not like that. And we drank that for Plop Day a few years ago.
I still, you know what I mentioned on the last episode, I still got those videos from that Plop Day that I will put together one day and we'll be able to see it in all its glory.
In the shared drive, I put all the videos I had in there.
Don't we have another shared drive of stuff? No, it's just that.
No, well, it was the Google Drive originally, and then we moved over to the one that I have. So
Yeah, I think the rye is maybe making the cinnamon pop a bit more. And maybe that's what's off-putting.
Yeah, it's that spiciness of the rye with some flavor.
Like the rye is
I just
good.
I don't know.
Maybe if doing it in the rye and then maybe scale back on the cinnamon might make it a bit more enjoyable for people. I don't know.
I mean, it's not like they're going to do this again, so.
It might, Brandon.
In 10 years. Yeah.
2034.
But that's a good point for that. It's funny you said that though, but that is a good point for using cinnamon and rye in a beer. So just be kind of cautious of, the flavor profile of rye.
Absolutely.
Combined with cinnamon.
I can see how if you use the right amounts it would work. But also 10 years from now, it's not 2034, it's 2020 or 2032.
And my thought is like if they did.
I don't want the listeners to think I can't do math, Brandon. I'm sorry.
I think the listeners know already.
Sorry.
Now I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, you killed me.
Boy, we've just been derailing Brandon all episode.
Yeah. This is called Welcome to Derailing Brandon. Sorry, man.
That's right.
I feel bad. You were talking about how this is something to look at when you're using something like rye or cinnamon, what it is that they actually bring to the beer. It's also good for like measuring out when you do adjuncts too, like how, like you and I, when we're trying to figure out, when we did Into the Void, our cinnamon roll stout, we kept tasting it as we went along to finally to the point where like we were adding so much cinnamon because we weren't getting enough of it, and it was nothing like this.
Yeah.
Like I thought we added a lot of cinnamon. Cinnamon to the boil, cinnamon to secondary, and cinnamon to the actual keg. You can have cinnamon on a sausage.
Sorry.
Sausage snacks. Yeah, I mean, like, I wonder if we did a rye. This is we'll do this way in the future.
If you could scale,
we'll have to remember
the cinnamon that we do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you and I think about try a rye version of Into the Void with the cinnamon.
Yeah. Well, and then in general, all of these beers, all of the variants for Goose Island, they are the base beer is Bourbon County.
Yeah.
Like, so that's their base. Well, even going back, was it Big John or Night Stalker, one of those two?
I think, yeah, it's one of the two.
Was like the base beer that ended up getting. Anyways, so that base recipe, so all they really did was up the rye or add rye and then their adjuncts. So I'd be curious to see, like, just playing with it, like what adding rye to our recipe would do. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just, I mean, like I said, you and I.
And even doing just a rye without anything, like, because we talked about doing it with no adjuncts.
That's just
the base beer.
We should try and do that. We do two versions of it.
And see if we get like a spice.
Maybe we can French press and play around with some ideas. Clark, would you be interested in joining us on trying the beer? Not brewing. We don't want you around for the brew day.
Yes.
Want us to drink.
Have you guys brewed anything with rye before?
Once. One time, Mike and I did. We call it Little Red Riding Hood.
Can you explain that to me?
No, I'm not going to.
I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. We can French press.
Dan would.
We'll get a bunch of rye bread, and we'll just French press.
I had some rye bread for lunch.
Did you have corned beef for lunch?
No, I did have one on St. Patrick's Day, though.
I did not have any corned beef.
You're not a true Irishman.
I know. Well, we talked about how Irish we are on the show. And like Anthony.
This whole Polish guy.
Yeah.
The Polish guy, the German guy. Let's go get
the
drunk
Italian.
and drink green beer.
All right, guys. So we've come to the end of this episode. Like we did last time.
We always come to the end.
No, I mean what we're about to do. We do always come to the end. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Rank these in order just for how you drank them overall. That's what we did last time. It was the overall experience of what you're doing right now type of deal. Like the experience that you had with these beers right now overall. What is it? Rank them. Who would like to go first? Clark.
I'm going first. Number 3, 14. Too much cinnamon, too much rye. Cherrywood's next. Still didn't love that one either. It was more bitter than I remember it.
Jeez.
But the 150, the Old Forester, that as we kept discussing it, it got better and better. Very complex. I'd probably still put it a half tick below the Blanton's, but it's right up there.
Very nice. Brandon?
I'm actually going to do the same. This one's going to be number 3 for me. But I did rate it the same as the Cherrywood. So Cherrywood was number 2. And then I'm blown away by that 150. How good that thing was. But to the point, back to the 14 again real quick. Totally could see this working well in either ice cream or doing like a float with just some straight up vanilla ice cream. Yeah.
Let's go open your other one and do that right now. I want to.
First date hits 80. That's what we're doing.
Awesome. I love it. I really thought that Cherry was going to be my number 1 overall. Not because I wasn't expecting anything for the 150, but I'm with you guys on the way I ranked it. And I would say that even 14 and Cherrywood are kind of a tie for me. I like them both separately in their own way. I like him as much as you don't like him. I feel like.
Fair enough.
And I don't mean that sarcastically or shitty, but I feel like the way you feel about him is the way I feel about him. In the
makes sense.
The positive side of it, they're side by side. But I also agree. I think I don't know. I think I might like this more than Blanton's. As very nice and exciting as Blanton's is, I do like the different layers and the way this all
the wheel of flavors, if you will.
Exactly. I think I like that.
There's
more.
no wrong opinions.
Thank you so much.
Unless they're Tony's.
But yeah. So that's hey, what?
What's that? Oh, I was reading something on the computer.
About the Tonys?
The Tony Awards, yeah.
Oh yeah. Who's nominated?
John Von Flanskins, Rock Dirk. That's a weird name. Rock
Dirk is a weird name.
And what's his name from Encanto and Hamilton?
Lin-Manuel.
He's nominated for his hit show Hamilton 2.
What?
Oh yeah, what's that about?
The Afterlife.
That sounds like a mixture of
because he dies. So spoiler alert. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Yeah. In life, he dies.
I hope you're just making this up.
Never gonna watch it. No, it's real. That is real. There's Hamilton 2 coming up.
I don't know why the Lin-Manuel thing. Did you ever see the season of Curbed with him?
Oh yeah.
Like every time I think of that guy, I just think of that.
Fantastic. I mean, I've seen every episode of Curb Man. Curb Man, the show.
I'd say a line from the show, but I'm not going to.
What is it?
Something Leon says.
What does Leon say?
He says he put two
what?
things together and
What happens?
tapped that ass.
Tapped ass? Yeah. Oh.
I'm not going to say the rest of it, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, Brandon, love you, man.
Love you too, bud.
Wait, I do still love you.
You know that?
We promise we'll be faster with the next episode because all we got left is prop and double barrel. So that's the big finale for the Build Your Own Media Kit Part 3.
Until we get our real media kit in
This
November.
year. We're looking forward to it.
And then we take 2 years to do that one.
Exactly.
No, that one we're just gonna do we'll do a bottle a day. No, we'll just get together that night with past guests. We'll just have them come on.
Everyone that also doesn't get a media kit.
Yeah, I can think of 2 people right now.
Two people.
2 more people, and guess what? With 2 more people, we can drink through our Bourbon County lineup and be okay if we take the next day off of work. Anyways, Brandon, love you, man.
Love you too, bud.
Clark, welcome back again, because I'm always going to say that anytime you're here.
Yeah, I'm here. Good to be here.
Top tier doggies, we're out.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all 3. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.